What's up, YouTube? This is Piercing Pencils, and in this video, we are going to be continuing on how to draw Wolverine, and we will be starting on how to draw the head and how to draw his iconic features. Starting out with the basic parts of the face, we're starting with the eyebrow muscles, the bridge of his nose, and his mouth. And then we're going to continue from there, and we're going to go to draw the cheekbones, the muscles of his face, the jaw, the chin, his iconic grimace, or you don't even have to draw him frowning, because it's going to be your picture at the end of the day. I'm just going to show you the ropes. So always keep in mind that you always want to have a light stroke when you're drawing. You don't want to press down too hard on the pencil. That's one of the tips I always learn, because if you have to go back and you have to erase, that line is going to be quite hard to come out. But moving forward, we have like certain wrinkles that's in the forehead, continuing to the bridge of the nose. We're going to do more wrinkles, and also you want to start drawing the eye. So there's a line that's underneath the eyebrow muscle, and then we're going to draw another almond-shaped line under that, or more so maybe like a diamond. And then you want to do a vertical line, and then keep on drawing more lines and emphasizing more on the eyebrow muscle until you get started on drawing the actual eyebrows. Now he has fairly huge eyebrows. It's crazy if it's seen in real life, but for some reason, certain things that don't work in real life works in comic books. So I like to make his eyebrows very bushy. Sometimes he has like a very narrow pointed nose, and there's other artists that draw him with a broad nose. So it depends on who you like to draw Wolverine. So I grew up in the era where in the 90s, where Jim Lee, the Kubert brothers, and Rob Liefeld had drawn him most. And you can't forget about artists like Mark Silvestri and John Romita Jr. And there's quite a few others that I am very, very saddened and ashamed that I'm not mentioning at the moment. But for the most part, like getting the erasing out of the way. So I'm glad I didn't, make those pencils more permanent, as I stated before. But okay, so once you get all of the features mapped out and you start to put them down, then you can start going into more detail. So he always has like this very stern and serious look on his face, and for some reason my camera went out of focus. So this is like the second video, and just bear with me. It will come back into focus. Um, so I'm working on just putting all of the lines there that's going to really detail his face. And he's a very, very old age person, and it doesn't help that like he grimaces and frowns a lot. And so at this point, we're going to be working on the ear and detailing all of the grooves and curls and curves in the ear. So you want to jump back and forth. It depends on, like, I guess, like what you feel like doing and focusing. So once you get his facial expression completed, and I'm just going to go, just touch up the eye here, make it a little bit more serious. So once all that's done, then you can go on and to style his hair. I like to start doing where his hair meets his body, and not starting on the outside, because it helps me map out like exactly how big I want his hair to be. And he has his iconic sideburns and flyaways. I didn't even know that there were flyaways until um, there was an issue of Wizard magazine. For those of you who are familiar with the magazine, it was a comic book price guide that was very, very popular in the 90s up until like the early 2000s. I'm not even sure if they print anymore. But it was a how to draw Wolverine, and I believe Lionel Yu was the artist that was doing the drawing board section. There was a how to draw in the drawing board section. I think the drawing board section was actually like fan mail that was sent in of favorite characters that they like to draw. And the how to draw section had prominent professionals teaching you how to draw certain parts of characters or how to draw certain characters. And I think Lionel was doing Wolverine that in that issue. I don't know why I'm stuttering so much. So I definitely will make sure I don't do any stuttering in my other videos. So I'm mapping out his hair. Not really too happy with how short it looks. So I want to give it like that flair from the 90s, and I'm just going to just keep making more strokes to make his hair wider and longer and more pointy, if you will. um so you don't really have to put those marks that's near his ears, because when you go to sketch it out and you want to start your shading, you're going to not really notice it that much. And of course you want to do like the little curl bits that hang over his forehead. Now, this will be later on in the video, even though I'm doing this trap, but we're still going to be focusing on his hair and drawing the main part of his head. So, I noticed that a lot of people, they've had problems. They're like, with the hair. It's, do I draw every single strand of hair? And like, no, you don't have to draw every single strand of hair. What you do is, you know what the person's hair looks like that you want to draw, and you want to know how the hair style. So just draw the shape of the style, and then you just go from there. And then only in specific details do you do like the specific lines or something like that. They may contrast with the actual color of the hair, and that's when you start to show that it's like, different strands here and there. So, but you don't have to draw each strand of hair. I've actually seen someone do this years ago. I think it was 2010. I went to a drink and draw at a comic book shop in my local area, and this person actually had a problem drawing hair, and this was the one thing that this person had done. They would actually draw each strand of hair, and I'm like, no, 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 you don't have to do that. So, uh, yeah, just you draw the shape of the hair, and then you put the details of what you want to show, like how, if the hair is frizzy, if the hair is slicked back, if it's straight. Now in Wolverine's case, his hair for some reason, it's like coarse but slick. So, sketching it out, you want to leave space between the hair that's meeting his skin and the hair that's going out into the wind. And to show that it's slick, you leave that gap of unsketched. You don't want to fill in all of his hair. Okay? You don't want to fill that in because that's showing the light source hitting his hair. And then, let's just say if you have a different person working on your sketch, like a colorist or an inker, what they're going to do is they're going to ink the hair, and they're going to leave that place that you left blank, that's the light source, they're going to leave that blank. And the colors will probably leave that as it like plain white, or they'll color it in as like a blue, maybe like a dark blue, as most artists do with his hair. He has like dark blue highlights, but his hair is actually black. So that, I hope I'll be able to cover that one day, very, very soon. So this is basically, in a nutshell, Wolverine, and you've just drawn his head. And yeah, so then, I'm just gonna touch up the erasings, and then like once you get all the details there, then you can get rid of all the light sketchings and things like that, and all the unnecessary lines that you don't want there in a final product. But I'm starting out, and I really want to dedicate to doing YouTube videos. I think I've done a lot of great videos on Instagram, because that's where I originally started out as Piercing Pencils 82. So I figured that like I have like a great enough personality to start a YouTube video. So I'm going to take my shot at this and learn the ropes, and hope a lot of you guys that come in, you give a like and subscribe, and then we can learn how to draw some things together, and I'll come up with some themes later on, and I'll catch you later. Peace.